Well, it's starting to rain harder. It's still really calm, so it's going to be a big storm. Still out a little ways, probably about 10, 12 miles out from me, but it's coming. But it's moving probably 20, 25 miles per hour. We get some pretty severe storms here in northern Michigan. A lot of people don't realize how severe the storms can get up here, but I've seen trees split completely in half from lightning strikes, and I've seen trees literally uprooted from lightning strikes, and I've seen forests burn because of lightning strikes, and yeah, it can get pretty severe. And that's not counting the high winds or the big hail or any of that stuff that sometimes comes with some of these storms we get. Damage in hail and wind can really do a lot of damage, and then the torrential downpours, the showers, things can flood quickly, especially when the ground's a little parched and dry. It's kind of waterproof. It don't like to absorb that rain when it comes down too fast. So when you think you're on high ground, all of a sudden you're in a floodplain. Something else to be aware of, especially if you're by the water like I am. You want to know you're up high enough in case the river raises quickly that you got time to get out. And you always have an escape plan. You always have an escape route. You always have an emergency evac. You never leave yourself in a situation where you don't know what you're going to do when you need to know what you need to do. You'll always be prepared for everything. The woods is not a place for forgiveness. You make a mistake out here, it'll cost you your life. If you don't know what you're doing, come out with somebody like me that knows what they're doing in the woods. Don't endanger your family, your pets, and yourself unless you know what you're doing. It can get very dangerous. Things you don't even think of out here will kill you. And if you don't know how to be in the woods and you don't know anything that I'm living, you don't belong out here. You're better off to watch my videos on YouTube in the safety of your house, because you wouldn't survive out here. You wouldn't make it 3 days, let alone for months on end like I do. So every now and then I spoil myself. I go stay at a hotel for a few days, but not too often. I prefer to be out here alone in the woods. It's a lot nicer. Just me and God, nature. It's beautiful. Plenty of time to sit around, read my Torah, talk with God, learn, grow, and get healthier. See, when you walk right with God in your life, you don't worry about life or death. You just worry about what you're supposed to be doing to live. That's all that matters. Live. Choose life. The key to never dying is keep living. When you stop living and doing the things of life, you're just dying another day. The question is, do you want to live or do you want to die? You only have one choice to make, life or death. And you choose death when you choose sin and you abide in sin, and you sin and trespass against the Torah. And when you trespass against the Torah, God gave you a free gift, death. There is no heaven, hell, angels, devils, demons, none of that. That's all false. It's all symbolic writings. There's only one thing, life or death. There is no fictional heaven that you go to when you die. You become worm poop. Read Genesis. God gave Adam death, and he gave him the dirt to return to. He didn't promise some eternal existence in some other abode or state or place. He said you return to the dirt you were formed from. Simple as that. So that pretty much debunks in Genesis Bereshit in Hebrew. All your heaven and hell concepts and angels, spooks, demons, devils, and all that stuff. It's all symbolic writings. Even though you guys like to make up Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and stuff like that, you know, and Jesus, you know, of your New Testament. I'm a Jew. I don't really believe in your New Testament. I got a master's degree in theology. And if you knew who I was, you would understand that I speak from a lot of religious upbringing about my decisions about Jesus Christ and the Bible and the New Testament and stuff, you know. In case you don't know, Jesus, the gematria, the numeric value of the name, the 3 Greek letters that make the name Jesus in your New Testament equals 666. And it's a mark. It's a mark of a beast you all accept. That's why you still buy, sell, and are enslaved and imprisoned and sin and die. That's why none of you live forever like I do. That's why you're sick, unhealthy, poor, destitute, hopeless. That's why things aren't going to get better for you. The judgments of God have come upon the world. Whether you're ready or not, they're here. You're in the last days of this world as you know it. The question is, are you going to continue to live or are you going to die? And this is the end of your world. That's your choice. But remember, it's not just your choice you're making. You're making the choice of up to 10 generations of your children. Do you want to curse? You say you love your kids. Do you want to curse your children to death? To kill them? To murder them before they ever were born? Your great-grandkids that'll never come? Your bloodline will snuff out. There'll be no males to carry on the seed of your bloodline and your family or your name, and it'll be forgotten. It's your question. Or you can choose to serve the only true God and live and bring a blessing to 1,000 generations. Now, do you want to bless 1,000 generations of your grandchildren and know that they'll be here even if you die in your sin because of your sin? You're given the curse, the judgment of sin. You didn't inherit sin. You are sin by choice. You choose death when you commit sin. When you choose willingly or unwillingly. God's grace and mercy is only to forgive you of your sin when you mess up. He says the dawning of every new day, your sin is as far removed from you as the east is from the west. Does the east ever touch the west? No, it never does. So every morning that arises, you should thank God and start out a day afresh and then sin no more. Stop sinning. Stop dying. Learn to live. Live a righteous, holy life, and you live forever with me. You don't, you die in your sin. Because death is the judgment. It's the curse that you get free, that me and God gave you freely. We gave you death as a free gift. We gave you an end to your sin. If you want that, to abide in ignorance, darkness, evil, wickedness, and all those bad things, which end is death. That's your choice to make, but remember, you're doing it to 1,000 of your grandchildren. 1,000 of your grandchildren. You say you love your children, and yet you'll curse them to death and make sure they'll stay poor, impoverished, enslaved like you? Or do you want to give them a better world than you ever had? At least die in your own sin and not take them with you. But give your children a chance. Give your children and your seed a chance to continue on. Give your seed the right to live. Stop killing yourselves and stop killing each other and stop killing your own children and snuffing out your entire bloodline and your family name. Stop disgracing your fathers before you. You are the chance of their legacy to continue on and their name to carry on. For you to get it right. Are you going to get it right? Or are you going to die in your sin too? Are you going to curse 1,000 generations that'll never come into this world? A name that'll never exist no more? And be the last of your bloodline to live? And the last male carrying out the seed of your bloodline? The family tree of God is getting very slim. There's not very many branches on it. It's starting to become like a telephone pole. The wires are connected. Everything goes through it. But nothing's part of it. Today, choose life. Choose life for your children, your grandchildren, to 1,000 generations. For your family name, a great name to be remembered to every generation that will continue to exist. Bring life, not death. Shalom.